for the courts to decide, and the courts 3 times have decided, and they are still going to decide tomorrow. So for me, I then had enough that if I want to be in politics and I still want to push the agenda to transform our communities, me myself coming from a poor background and working in poorer communities, I cannot stand a party that is a stumbling block when it comes to transformational agenda. For example, the 4 area-based, the ODTP, with us as 4 area-based MECO members. That was planned to make sure that we bring government closer to the people, not people to government, but government to the people. And having said that, to ensure also parity of services. Now, parity of services says the bulk of the budget of the city of Cape Town must be spent in, and the white people within the Democratic Alliance took offense with the ODTP. And I will not be surprised that immediately when Dan Plato, whom they say he sleeps in meetings, so that Dan Plato, while he's chairing the meeting, he sleeps. I don't know how many times he's going to sleep now. That's why I call him the new old mayor. And having said that, I will not be surprised that immediately when a new council is established, the first thing on the agenda would be to do away with the ODTP. Now you must know exactly, when they do away with the ODTP, they want to do away with any services that must go to black and colored communities. And that is the stand that I am taking, actually. And I have resigned from the Democratic Alliance, and I do not want tomorrow to be called a former DA councillor. You can refer to me as a former executive mayor's area representative, because I represented the mayor and the interest of the people of Cape Town. And having said that, it's not about black and colored, it's about everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, can we just give to Greg as well?
This is the best decision you could have made for yourself. Elaborate on that.
Yes, because I must say, when Patricia was subjected to this, I said to Patricia, because Patricia has got this tendency of saying that you are not my shop steward, I can speak for myself. And I respectfully said to her, Madam Mayor, this time around, this is no longer your fight. It is our fight too. And I said to her, I am prepared to resign from the Democratic Alliance, because when you met me, I was poor, I had nothing, I had no place to stay in Cape Town. I had no food whatsoever. And then she gave me the opportunity to stand. And growing up, being poor, for me to take a principled stand and lose a salary. In fact, I must say, I give joy in fight. I get joy and fulfillment in fighting against injustice. Yes. The salary has brought so many problems because I've got bonds, I've got loans that I must pay. But when I stand having nothing and standing for what I believe in terms of the advancement of our communities, that's what I find fulfillment in, actually. So that's when then I decided that I want to resign. And Patricia said to me, that was in March. And she said to me, Sia, you won't be able to fight outside. You must fight from the inside. I fought from the inside. Now I have reached the end of that fight, which I will be fighting on the outside, fighting the Democratic Alliance. And I must make sure that in 2019, that the Democratic Alliance in the province of the Western Cape is relegated to opposition benches, and that they have sent to obscurity, and that they are thrown in the dustbin in the history of, what do you call it? Whatever you call it, but they must be thrown somewhere, whatever, if it's dumping site or wherever, they must be thrown somewhere.
I have a question about the DA spending so much money on these investigations. Where in council more than 800,000 rand was spent. Even the courts have found that the mayor, that Patricia de Lille, is not guilty.
No, it's not the DA.
Well, the city
is the city. Yes. But just to say to you that the trellis door issue that went and was leaked to the media continuously was to the value of 140,000 rand. We have spent over 700,000 rand just on the investigation, and the report says to us today that she is cleared of all disciplinary proceedings and of all allegations. So that's just to show you that they are hell-bent on tarnishing Patricia de Lille's name, and we can no longer stand it. But I just want Councillor, or not Councillor, I just want Greg and Tulani just to give their comments as well, please. Greg.
Okay, I want to state this without fear or favor.
the DA is a party that is only advancing whites. And I've been in the party since 2010. 2016 I became a PR councillor, deployed in Atlantis, and essential services such as your Metro Police headquarters moved to Bontiville. Solid waste moved out of Atlantis to Montague Gardens. The housing office most recently moved out of Atlantis to Perro, meaning making service delivery can never be fast, effective and efficient as they promise the people, which is lies. And now you as a councillor have to deal with those issues day in and day out. And I'm not a one that will deceive the community. I would rather take a back stand and move out. But I would like to tell the community, they are busy with their campaigns. When they come to your door, chase them away. They're a bunch of liars, they're a bunch of deceivers, and I'll be waiting for them at the end because I'm coming for them.
I think it's the decision I've taken today. It's a decision one of, say, as a young black South African, I would not want to see my blacks and colored and other young people suffered in the DA. The jobs in the DA, if you go to UCT and being white, you are guaranteed a job at the National Office of a DA. I can no longer stand that, or can no longer stand. You're going to see on the campaign, on the door-to-doors, it's going to be our people going to be on the ground. They're going to be sitting in offices. Everybody's a strategic planner. He's a planning officer. But when it comes to the diligence of work, they will not be there. Let me take a serious note. Joy McCarthy, who's the councillor of the DA, she was given a privilege because her recommendation was different from Councillor Sweetness Mzolise. Why would it be that? Because Sweetness, she never believed in the white, or she's been treated differently from the party. As I sit here, young person, we see issues. I'll tell you, yesterday in our caucus, we have turned away a project will bring housing into the city because it's not meant for the people of town. It's not meant, it's going to degrade the houses. When do we close the special pen of the apartheid? When is it good for them to say to the people, you can come closer to town? We will never be used as puppet to convince our people. I've got 2 years as a councillor. I cannot hold on for the next 3 years to go and lie to the people door to door. There were people who had birthdays using the public money, but DA, those things have been quiet. I'll tell you, I've attended the conference of the DA. That is not a conference, it's a seminar. Everybody's did it if they want. We went to go into Tshwane for the De Lille clause. Where was everybody? No, because they were there to supplement the mission. A woman was being victimized by the DA in the name of principle. DA always say to the ANC, let the laws, let the court of law prove you are not guilty. Today, when we say the same thing to them, it's a different story. They say it's investigation. Until what point of investigation? I had enough of the DA. I'm no longer a councillor of the DA. I'm an ordinary citizen who will fight for the justice of the people. I will be in the forefront to lead the people of Cape Town to get their services. We will come and march to the Civic Center. We are waiting for Dan Plato to come and give us the surety that our people and the project that are in the hand currently now, we will fight them. If it means we lose our lost spent, we will use our own money, but we will fight the DA to the core of the bone. 2019, be assured, we are coming after them. Let them be strategic. We are going to be part of this movement. We're going to be social activists.
I just want to say to Suzette and Sean, you've both left top jobs, you know.
All of us.
All of you, yeah, councillors as well. It just seems though that only 5 people walked out, right? So why are not more people speaking up? Are people being victimized by the party? Are people being told to keep quiet or they will lose their jobs? What's happening?
Sorry, Chief.
Sean. Not
Sean. Let me say this. It's very difficult, and I do appreciate it, and this is why I do not want to speak for others. It is very difficult. When I made this decision, I had to speak to my family. I am a praying woman, believe it or not, hence the fact that people have charged me for praying. I will continue praying. It's the source of my power. I will continue praying. And so I went to my church. I went to my Pastor Lamb. I went to my husband and my family. And this was not a decision I made lightly. And so I don't expect people to come to the same conclusion I have come to. They do feel the same way I feel. I've had many people come and say to me that they understand and that they wish they could do the same. But unfortunately, people must put food on the table. And so I will not speak for them. I do believe that in the next few days we will probably have a number of calls from people. to ask how they could possibly do the same, I don't know. But I do know that there are a number of councillors that are unhappy.
I agree.
My question is to the group. Was this planned? You now mentioned that there are, and I think we're all aware that there are councillors who are unhappy. I mean, if we take a look at the 39 who voted against the 40, sorry,
You'll be
voted
voting
against. Was this planned? And when did this planning start, if it was planned?
Let me say, I think we've been unhappy since the 15th of February. And since the 15th of February, people were speaking to one another that of their unhappiness within the party. And as the question was posed earlier on, we have tried, we have fought from the inside, we have sent emails, we have had meetings with James Health and with Musi. We have engaged our leadership to the extent where we went to Parliament, we've put it on email, we've had Sunday meetings with them to ensure that, or to say to them that what they are doing to us, they are turning a blind eye. So since the 15th of February, after the victimization has started, people were speaking to families, people were speaking to each other and saying, you know what, I actually don't want to be here. You know what, I cannot stand being part of the DA knowing that what they are doing is wrong. We've attempted over these last, 8 months, and in last week we started again speaking to one another, and this week we've decided, look, this is what we want to do. We cannot stand and sit in these chambers anymore and lie to our families and our friends and communities out there that we are actually supporting the political party that we are elected for in council. So we took the bold step today. That's it. We made our decision and we'll move forward on that.
Sean, you did earlier mention that you're not planning on joining, or that you haven't made your decision yet on your next move. What about the other 4? There are talks of DA members starting a new party. What about your supporters? Because obviously we have supporters who voted for you as well. Who do your supporters vote now? Because you're saying that you're leaving the DA. Obviously we have a support base leaving with you. For who do they vote now?
Okay.
I think you've actually answered your own question, that it's actually time for us, because we've actually never had a chance to sit and talk. We've reacted to what has been done to us. The one thing that we are sure of as we're sitting here, that we serve our communities. I didn't become a councillor, or none of us became councillors to serve. We have been serving our communities for many years. And so we will still continue serving those communities that we have committed to. But the way forward is something that we must now actually go back and decide on. What does this way forward look like? And that is not a decision that we've made yet. And so, as Sean has just mentioned, it was in this last week that we just had enough. It's not going to improve. The vindictiveness, the spite, the malice, it just cannot carry on.
We just hug for.
It's time that we actually get to the point where we must find a way forward, because our communities are messed up. Our communities are being destroyed while we waste money on a trelly door. We waste money on investigations. That money is meant for services. Our community doesn't need more policing. Our communities need more social services. Our people are damaged from an apartheid system that people tell us we must get over. Apartheid's not a wall I climb over. It's a system that's embedded in our people's makeup. It's embedded in our society. And we must get help to our people. We cannot continuously condemn the child that's on drugs, condemn this and condemn that. We must provide services. But we have the time to spend money on an investigation. And if it's not the right answer, we investigate it again. And if it's still not the right answer, we investigate it again. Until such time as we get the right answer. Whose money is being spent? And when you raise these issues in the party, you are being seen as, well, it's because she supports the mayor. No, it's not. I support the people out there. I live in Athlone. I live in those areas. I know what it's like when our people are crying out for help and there's nobody to help them. When children are being raped and are going missing and there's no help. You see, that is what drives me. Sorry.
Can I just have a last question from my side?
Can I just add to that? I think we are servant leaders, so we're serving the community in whatever capacity. So tomorrow will be the same. Only difference would be you're not going to be paid for it. But let me put this on the record. The way forward, Cape Town, the Western Cape, needs a new order. What that new order is, I don't know. But like Suzette mentioned, there's discussions, we will sit, we will engage, because change is needed.
Yeah.
I want to end off by just saying we are aware of DA tactics. Character assassination will start now on Facebook and social media, and all different things would be said of the 5. But we are 5 hard-working councillors. We've been hard-working in this DA for many years, and if whatever the problem they're going to have, they had to say that then. Why wait till when we leave? So we are aware of that character assassination. We are prepared for that, and we will deal with it accordingly when it happens. I think that's it. I'm not sure if there's any other questions.
I think for us, we will go back. We will reflect on this journey. It was never an overnight decision. Remember, when we made this decision, it was a decision that we had looked at a number of issues. And even the people that are behind us, we are saying to them, give us a couple of two weeks so that we can revert ourselves and look at what can we do. Like I've said in the beginning, we are social justice people. Before we are appointed to be councillors, we've been working in the communities. We won't stop. Like my colleague said, it was not about the
of that briefing. That's a briefing that was being held by 5 DA councillors or former councillors who decided to quit today, partly in protest against the way that outgoing Mayor Patricia de Lille was being treated. But they say that they've been fed up for a long time. They said they've had enough. One even said we're khatful, and they expect that the DA will now begin a process of character assassination of them, starting on Facebook. We'll have more news for you just after a short break.